The athletic department. The athletic department would like to thank them for all their hard work and dedication to Muskie athletics.
Ready?
Our first senior is Abigail Shire. Abby is being escorted by her parents, Rowdy and Misty Shire. Abby's activities include track, basketball, skills, USA, Key Club, and is involved in her church youth group. Abby plans to go to Zane State to get her associate's degree and become a respiratory therapist. Her best advice to underclassmen is to never be afraid to be yourself. You'll find your place. Abby Shire. Molly Thompson Inman. Molly is being escorted by her father, Steve Inman. Molly's activities include softball and basketball, and Molly plans to enlist in the military and study power lineman. Her best advice to underclassmen is, don't sleep on Sister Mary Jo's curveball. You never know what's coming next. Molly Thompson Inman. Another big Muskie thank you to our seniors, Abigail Shire and Molly Thompson Inman.
ABC Sports presents high school basketball. Tonight's game is brought to you by Southeastern Med, Doan Ford, WB Green Insurance, Muskingum Valley Health Centers, West 40 Auto Sales, Edward Jones-Teresa Cowden, and Park National Bank.
Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the village of beautiful New Concord and tonight's presentation of girls high school basketball. For YRP-TV, my name is Tracy Lingefelder, and joining me tonight, please say hello to the one and only Mr. Mike Snively.
Glad to be here with you, Tracy. Our first rodeo tonight should be a fun one.
Well, and the host, Lady Muskies, they have a pretty formidable opponent this evening in the visiting Lady Cadets from Fort Frye.
Yeah, what you have here is John Glenn coming in here after a victory over Philo a few days ago and coming in at 2-1, but tonight could be a little different animal for the Lady Muskies. Fort Frye, a team that hasn't lost since January 6th of 2020, so basically they haven't lost in 11 months. They're on a 17-game winning streak, and a team that was in the state semifinals last year, but due to the COVID reasons did not get to participate in their semifinal game. So they returned just about virtually everybody, and they are just a very dominant team at this point right now. And they are coming off of a huge victory over a very good Union Local team. And Union Local only has 2 losses in 2 years. Both are to Fort Frye.
Yeah, tonight, senior night for the Lady Muskies. And as we talk about seniors, and you mentioned Fort Frye's team from 2019, they did only lose 1 starter to graduation last year, and tonight they're going to be starting 3 more seniors and 2 juniors, all with experience from last year's quality win team.
And the first thing we're going to notice tonight, too, is they're not a big team, but they are well coached, they're well disciplined. Dan Litke's been around over almost 40 years coaching boys and girls at Fort Frye High School, but we noticed during the JV game how fundamental they were and how well they played defense. So that's the first thing John Glenn's going to have to do tonight. John Glenn's going to have to take care of the tater tonight because they've been throwing it around the gym a lot lately. In fact, I had a game where they lost to Cambridge and turned it over 35 times. But after talking to Coach Sigmund, they think they've worked on this and taken care of some things. But like I said, they're going to see some pressure in their face tonight and some good half-court defense from Fort Frye. So should be a good test for the Lady Muskies.
A good test indeed for a younger but taller Lady Muskies team. And again, like you mentioned, I talked to Coach Sigmund, who is the first-year varsity head coach for the Muskies. And you're right, he talked about specifically with controlling the ball would be one of the keys to victory on a very tough opponent. But Coach Sigmund mentioned also that in the last couple games there was a total of 65 turnovers from his varsity squad. And he told me on the phone while we were talking that he takes sole responsibility. That all starts at his level as the head coach. But Coach went on to say that in addition to controlling the ball, they're going to have to keep Fort Frye's powerful offense on its toes by switching up their defense and really keep the Fort Frye team guessing when they're on offense. A couple other things that Coach Sigmund wants to do is try to use their size to their advantage against a smaller but very quick Fort Frye Lady Cadets team. And he even mentioned, as we all are well aware, Fort Frye very talented. Coach Sigmund knows that. He says there's really no one person on the Lady Cadets team that they can focus on. He said they don't have a bad player, was his exact words to me.
Right.
So, yeah, he has to really stress solid fundamentals for his team tonight.
Right, and you said it best there too, Tracy. They have 5 girls on the floor at any time that can score the basketball. And anytime you have that in high school girls basketball, you've got something special. But as good as they are offensively, they're just tremendous defensively, and they are known to hold teams into the teens for a game scoring. And if you couple that, if John Glenn is struggling turning the ball over like they have been, it could be a long night for the Lady Muskies. But I do like the fact that Coach Sigmund has this game scheduled because this is what makes your teams better. You go out and you play some of the best competition you can play, and that's the only way you're going to get better.
And the Lady Muskies just kind of on the opposite end of the spectrum as far as experience level is concerned. They have 2 seniors. Typically one of them starts, but because tonight is senior night, both seniors will get an opportunity to start tonight's game. And then, you're going to have some underclassmen that's going to be on the court, a couple juniors, and the Lady Muskies even with some sophomores and freshmen on the team that Coach Sigmund tells me one of the benefits that they have is that all of his players on the roster see some playing time.
Yeah, and he's right. He does have some young talent coming up through the ranks, and they've proved themselves. They get some quality minutes in the JV game. The game I had versus Cambridge, those young players got some quality talent, quality varsity minutes in the game versus Cambridge. So, it's a good mixture on this Muskie team with a little bit of youth, a little bit of experience, and you just hope that those seniors lead those young people the right way, and I think they will. But that's a good point. It's a good mixture of youth and experience for this Lady Muskie team.
Coach Sigmund mentioned this past weekend when Lady Muskies played Philo, and he kind of keyed on the fact that their mentality is next person up, basically, whereas 2 of his starters fouled out in the Philo game, and then he had another go out for injury. So they're losing a lot of their players that get a lot of floor time, and basically the girls didn't panic. They come out, and the ones that don't typically get a lot of playing time got a lot more playing time, and they come away from with a win against Philo.
Yeah, and that's a good point too. You have to have that next man up philosophy, in this case, next woman up in this case, but they do a fantastic job of replacing one another, and their practices, as Coach Sigmund told me, has been getting much better, and they're getting better looks from everybody. So as long as if you're competing in practice and you're getting good quality competition in practice, that's going to prepare you for game night.
Right, and Coach Litke on the other side tells me that his keys to victory tonight is basically controlling the height advantage that John Glenn has. So with him, as Fort Frye is used to doing, they're going to keep the game up-tempo with the full court pressure and just basically a run and gun, similar to what us older folks remember from UNLV back
the running Rebels.
Ago. That's right, the running Rebels. So be the running Cadets for these guys tonight. Pressure John Glenn and just adapt to the game and make sure that they control it.
Yeah, and one thing I have noticed too is there's going to be, in some cases, a 6 to 7 inch height advantage for John Glenn.
Right. And we're going to take a moment to step away for the national anthem. We'll be back with starting lineups and more right after this.
The Board of Education Principal and Athletic Department of John Glenn High School extends to each of you a cordial welcome. Fort Frye High School and John Glenn High School are members of the Ohio High School Athletic Association and abide by the high standards of conduct, competition, and relations with member schools. Sportsmanship is a priority in the Muskingum Valley League. As a result, the John Glenn student section would like to welcome the fans from Fort Frye High School. John Glenn would like to wish both teams good luck, challenge all in attendance to support the athletes, the coaches, the officials. Let's make this a positive experience for all. The officials assigned to this game have been selected according to procedures adopted by the Ohio High School Athletic Association and the Muskingum Valley League. Tonight's officials are Scott Bunting, Ron Frame, and Randy McInturf. At this time, please rise and join in the playing of our national anthem.
Tracy Lingefelder and Mike Snively with you in YRP TV's presentation of girls high school basketball. We're coming to you live from John Glenn High School, where the Lady Muskies are hosting a very tough Lady Cadets team from Fort Frye. And some starting lineups for you tonight. First, for the visiting Lady Cadets, Mike, did you do the honors?
The Cadets are going to use a 4-guard offense tonight. They're going to start a senior who's going to wear number 10 tonight, Olivia Snyder. She's 5'4". A 5'6" guard senior wearing number 3 tonight, Lexi Huck. A 5'7" forward senior, number 42, Carly Ross. A 5'8" guard junior, number 22, Hannah Archer. And finally, for the Lady Cadets, a 5'3" guard, a junior, number 24, Mackenzie Dalton.
And for the Lady Muskies, they're going to put on the floor this evening their 2 seniors who have been honored tonight. First, number 11, 5'5" senior, Molly Thompson-Inman. And number 14, 5'5" senior, Abby Shire. Joining the 2 seniors on the floor is going to be 5'8" junior, number 12, Rachel Minert. And a 5'11" junior, number 32, Olivia Abrams, and a 6'1" sophomore, number 33, Hannah DiMatteo.
I'll help you out on that one.
So had it pretty good for the earlier than
Not bad.
So Fort Frye controls the tip, and as we see, the expected, they are off and running. And that is number 10, Olivia Schneider, with a nice layup. Takes the drive and all the way to the bucket. And
going to be a little man-to-man pressure here by the Lady Cadets.
Abby Shire hands off to Rachel Minert. Back up top to Thompson-Inman. And on over to Olivia Abrams. Offense gets set up, and we expected completely to see a very pressure-laden Lady Cadets defense, and it's exactly the way they start.
Yeah, the Fort Frye defender got a hand on the ball, knocking it off the John Glenn player. The Fort Frye basketball. Early turnover here for the Lady Muskies.
Just something that Coach didn't want to see, and in the first couple of minutes, we already have 1 on the book.
Now, Fort Frye's going to make you guard. You have to guard them.
And there's a 3-point attempt. Fort Frye is no good, and ball knocked out of bounds. Out of on Fort Frye, and the Lady Muskies will take control. So just kind of what we expected to see, some up-pace, fast-paced basketball to start. We're 2-0 early on, 7 minutes to go in the first quarter. Fort Frye leading the Lady Muskies.
Yeah, just token pressure by the Lady Cadets. Once the Muskies were able to clear everything out, it was just one-on-one.
And the coach Leitke said that he would, kind of adjust his defensive strategy based on how the game is going. So see how things go. And John Glenn tries up a 3, no good. Rebound to Lady Cadets, and off and running on the break. Number 3 for the Lady Cadets is Lexi Huck with 2 points of her own on a breakaway layup.
Nice fundamental left-hand layup off of her right foot.
That's always key in every coach's book, right? Basic fundamentals. That's what gets you there.
And this is what we're going to see here.
It's almost steal, knocked out of bounds, and that was number 24, Mackenzie Dalton for Fort Frye, who dives in front of a pass and knocks the ball out of bounds, and John Glenn will retain possession.
Fort Frye loves to deny that first entry pass. By the way, Tracy, last year down in Beverly, John Glenn lost to Fort Frye 42-17. So 25-point winner for the Lady Cadets in this game last year.
And see how this rematch plays out for both teams tonight, right?
Yes.
But Thompson-Inman drives to the left, and she gives off, well, kind of knocked away, but controlled by Olivia Abrams, who John Glenn ends up and does lose it. Fort Frye off and running again, and travel on Lexi Huck, and it'll be a turnover for Fort Frye. Number 22, Angela Kumler, a 6'3" junior, very, very talented junior, checks in for Molly Thompson-Inman.
Yeah, she can handle the ball, play the post, good defender, does a little bit of everything for this Lady Muskie team.
And she's working for position, drives baseline, kicks the ball back out, And that is a three-point attempt off the back of the iron by Olivia Abrams. And a little fight for the rebound. Whistle, and we got a jump ball. And it looks like the arrow is going to favor the home team.
Nice hustle there by Rachel Minert. Sticking her nose in there, getting that offensive rebound, led to a jump ball, Muskie ball.
John Glenn working for position down low. Ball's knocked away, which we'll probably see a lot tonight. A cross pass over to Kumler. Drives, and she's called for the charge.
Number 22, Angela Kumler.
And it's very easy to tell. Mackenzie Dalton is probably the best defender for the Fort Frye Lady Cadets. It did a fantastic job of beating Kumler to the spot there.
Yeah, and that's just some quick feet. Like I said, John Glenn definitely has a size advantage, but the Cadets have definitely quick feet. They're moving around pretty fast.
5 girls that can play and defend.
And that's a shot, a 15-footer. It was a 42. Carly Rose on the missed opportunity, and Kumler with the rebound for John Glenn and brings the ball back down, and they get their offense set up. Kumler with the ball again. Cross-court pass to Shire. So what you like to see a little bit, Mike, is a good ball movement from John Glenn.
Good ball movement. They're trying to get it inside to take advantage of the but there's so much help from Fort Frye. They do such a good job with the backside help. That was great ball movement there, and big shot there by Shire. And that's, I think you got to do that to Fort Frye. You have to make them work.
That's right. So 4-2 with 4:15 left in the first quarter. Fort Frye leading John Glenn. Fort Frye back on the offensive attack. Ball kicked out to number 42, and she back out to Hannah Archer. Just reset the offense there. One John Glenn knocked down by another. And little drive to the lane from Carly Rose. She misses the layup, and we have a whistle on the floor.
Number 10, Liv Schneider.
Olivia Schneider, the 5'4" senior for Fort Frye, called for the foul. And pretty cleanly played game so far with 3:50 left in the first quarter.
Yeah, John Glenn only with 3 shot attempts, though.
Kummer bringing the ball back up. Skip pass across court, and there's a shot, and good. That's number 12, Rachel Minert.
Good find by Kumler. Minert hits that 15-footer along the baseline.
And when you have good ball movement and you can sink some shots, that's always going to work well for you, right?
Anytime you make shots, you got to like your chances.
And there's a three-pointer from the top. That shot attempt, Lexi Huck, was no good. Rebound to the Lady Muskies.
Fort Frye missing their last 4 shots.
Shire loses the handle, and a layup attempt that was again by Lexi Huck missed, and putback is no good by Ross. And a little fight for the rebound, and we have another jump ball, which is going to favor Fort Frye.
Fort Frye going to the standard box, out of bounds, under.
Mackenzie Dalton will inbound for the Cadets. Back out to Hannah Archer, who spots up and no good. Rebound, Muskies. That's number 33, Hannah. Say it. DiMatteo. Kumler with the ball for the Lady Muskies.
Got to let it roll off the mouth, Trace.
Oh, I will get it right about 2 minutes to go in the game. I won't even say I promise, though. But really impressed with the way the Muskies are able to, and I know they're trying to work down low, but some pretty decent passes. Kumler with the ball driving, and as soon as you say that.
But they do maintain possession. Yeah, John Glenn's playing really well right now. They're taking care of the ball. They're making the Lady Cadet defense move, get tired a little bit, and then they've been getting good shots.
That's what I was going to say. They're definitely making the Lady Cadets play the Lady Muskies game right now. Shot was missed, and the putback by DiMatteo is no good, and the Fort Frye with the rebound, and they're back off and setting up their own offense again. Schneider passes off over to Mackenzie Dalton. Oh, there's no reason for that. Probably Olivia Abrams called for the foul for the Lady Muskies. And just
number 32, Olivia Abrams, her first.
just a little, I don't know, I don't know you want to call it, I guess, over-aggressive, but it couldn't be aggression, right? I mean, we're tied up with 2:08.44.
Yeah, and just a little too physical on that play.
What you don't hate to see the physicalness, but just kind of, instead of just making it look like you're trying to block, it was a full-on shove.
Yeah, it looked like the official had to give a fan a warning over on the visitor side. Now, the thing with COVID, though, Tracy, you can hear every little thing everybody says just because of the 10% capacities.
Sometimes it gets so quiet you can hear thoughts.
Yeah. Well, you won't hear any from me because I'm not a very good thinker.
That is Mackenzie Dalton spots up for 3, and it is good.
Fort Frye, 3 of their first 11 shots here with 1:44 in the first.
Coomer behind the back, and she's bumped. The ball gets thrown away, and Fort Frye with it. And that is Lexi Huck missing the layup. But rebound back to Fort Frye, and Mackenzie Dalton drives. Ball's knocked out of bounds, and Fort Frye will maintain possession. It's a little sloppy.
Sloppy on both ends right now. Some subs getting in the game. Both teams trying to get their breath under them right now.
Madeline Windland, a 5'11" freshman, checks in for John Glenn, and she's in for number 32, Olivia Abrams. Fort Frye will inbound the ball underneath their own basket. Ball's controlled, and Olivia Schneider passes off to the top of the key. Schneider back with the ball. And, just like we talked about with the Lady Muskies being patient, a team that likes to run and gun like these Lady Cadets, they're being very patient as well.
Yeah, and not a whole lot of whistles, not a lot of stoppages in play. Like to see that.
Another three-point attempt is short. That shot attempt by Mackenzie Dalton, but she gets her own long rebound. And another three-point is off the mark from the Lady Cadets. That second one was by Hannah Archer, and it was just skimmed off the right side of the rim, but Muskies end up with the ball. We're 58 seconds to go, 7-4 Cadets lead.
John Glenn doing a good job using their length on defense, which seems to have a big effect on the Lady Cadets right now.
And Fort Frye did put on the full court pressure a little bit. Coomer is able to bring the ball up, and a travel. Abby Shire called for the travel for the Lady Muskies, and we'll turn the ball over again to Fort Frye.
Official thought that Shire picked up or drug her pivot foot, and that's why she got called for the travel.
Schneider brings the ball, passes off to Archer to the left side. Comes across to Dalton.
You can tell the size advantage from here just by watching. I mean, it's very much an advantage for John Glenn.
Right. It is, and we expected to see some quick movements for the Cadets, and we have, and we've reached 15 seconds to go in the first quarter. Schneider with a three-point attempt is no good, and rebound fought for, and a whistle. Jump ball.
Another jump ball.
10 seconds to go. Fort Frye leading the Lady Muskies 7-3, and we're in the first quarter. YRP TV's presentation of girls high school basketball. I'm Tracy Lingefelder with the very famous Mike Snively.
Not quite, but John Glenn's got to get it moving here. Only 8 seconds till the end of the first quarter.
Shire to Coomer to get past the Fort Frye full court pressure, and Coomer put the ball up, and she was fouled. And that will be a three-point shot. Coomer was fouled on the three-point attempt. I think she was just trying to get the ball before the buzzer.
Yeah, Coomer, I saw her against Cambridge nail a half quarter. That one was from inside a half court. Now, called on Schneider, but was it Schneider or was it Dalton? But whoever it was, they looked up, and I heard a lot of ball from up here.
Yeah, the foul called on Dalton. Coomer's first attempt is no good.
First free throws of the night for either team.
Coomer's second attempt is up, and it is off the front of the rim, no good. So 0 for 2 so far for Coomer, who will get one more shot with 0.5 seconds to go, 7-4. Cadets lead the Lady Muskies. Coomer's third attempt is off the front of the rim and no good. Rebound was fought for, but ended up knocking out of bounds, and we have reached the end of the first quarter. Probably a lower scoring contest of what we may have expected.
No doubt, and I do really think that John Glenn length is giving Fort Frye all kind of trouble on the offensive end, getting their hands up, doing a nice job of closing out and doing a good job communicating defensively. So I think that's why we're seeing such a low-scoring game. And obviously, Fort Frye's doing a good job on their end. Well, we got a slugfest right now.
And I'm sure Coach Leitke, he was talking about if need be, he'll change up his game plan. But it looks like John Glenn, all credit to the Lady Muskies, they kind of put Fort Frye into a situation where the coaching staff has to kind of alter their game plan going into it.
Yes,
just to
they
kind
do.
of accommodate.
One key stat here that I'm looking at right now, Fort Frye got up 15 shots. John Glenn only got up 5 shots. So 3-1 in shot attempts for Fort Frye. Fort Frye not making them. But once again, I attribute to the getting hands in the face, contesting shots by the Lady Muskie defense. So a fantastic job that quarter by the Lady Muskies.
Right, and scoring only two scores. Of course, they only scored 4 points. So the 2 buckets coming from Rachel Miner and Abby Shire for the Lady Muskies, and little spread around, I guess, a little better for the Cadets, where Lexi Huck has 2 points, Olivia Schneider has 2, and then, of course, Mackenzie Dalton with a big 3-pointer. So that gives us our 7-4 score. And we are live at John Glenn High School, YRP TV's presentation of girls high school basketball. And second quarter is underway. Fort Frye with the ball, and looking to maybe a little better performance in the second quarter for both teams.
Yeah, John Glenn doing a good job calling out switches here. John Glenn 5 turnovers in that first quarter. Fort Frye with 1 turnover in the first quarter.
Seems like Fort Frye might be picking up the pace again just a little bit, and that was a 3-point attempt by Olivia Schneider. It was no good, and whistle on. We'll get some more substitutions for Fort Frye.
Number 14, Riley Medley.
That's Riley Medley, who is a 5'5" sophomore guard for the Cadets. Will come in, check in for Hannah Archer. Muskies with the ball. And the Fort Frye Cadets with another full court pressure. Coomer with the ball. Nice outlet pass there. Down, but it's knocked away. Fort Frye controls. Another turnover for the Lady Muskies, Mike. That's not what you want to see.
No, 6 turnovers. Just got to continue to work your tails off like they have been defensively.
Yeah, you want to stay away from those 30 and 40 turnover nights. And a 3-point attempt by Fort Frye is no good, but they get their own rebound and put the ball back up and score, lead 9-4 with 7 minutes to go in the second quarter.
And right now, John Glenn's kind of in a funk offensively, trying to get in some type of rhythm here. And here's a chance they've got to the crossed half court. Just got to make better passes.
And the ball knocked away right there. Knocked away by Dalton. And knocked back in bounds. And Fort Frye's moving. And there is a little shot attempt. That was from Medley, who was no good, short, and rebound to the Lady Muskies.
Coach Sigmund's going to use a 30-second timeout here. Struggling right now offensively, and he's probably got to, get his team settled down just a little bit. And like we said earlier, that Fort Frye defense is just solid, and holding this John Glenn Muskie team to 4 points right now in the second quarter. That's just one example of how good they've been tonight.
And the offense seems to be picking up the pace just a little bit. They're definitely more lively, moving, trying to get spot up, and having cutters going through to the basket and breaking through in the lane. It's just, again, credit to the Lady Muskies. They're not getting the scoring that they was hoping for, but they're definitely doing pretty good in limiting a talented Fort Frye.
They have done
offense.
a great job defensively. Anything that worries me right now, John Glenn's only gotten up 5 shots. And we're over 9 minutes in the game. They've only got up 9 shots.
Shire will bring the ball around, and
probably going to call that on number 10 for Fort Frye.
Which is Olivia
Schneider.
Push a foul.
That's the one your teammates got to be yelling screen. She turned around and ran right into it, ran her over. That is a foul. And defensive foul on Schneider.
Schneider's second foul, third team foul for Fort Frye, only 2 for the Lady Muskies as well. So doing better in the foul category than we are in turnovers for.
Hey, there's some great screens being set out there right now, though.
It's a very physical game.
It has been.
And another travel. That time, Olivia Abrams getting called for the travel. And again, Mike, you mentioned it earlier, like they're just sliding their pivot foot.
Yeah, and a lot of times Fort Frye defenders are getting into that passing lane the last second, and they pause to throw the pass, and that pivot foot comes with them. And it slides, and there's the travel.
Bodies
all over
on
the
the floor. That's what I was going to say, yeah. And then Dalton kicks it out, and that is Schneider, who finds there's a lot of passing going on, which is good. Just get their shot set up. Let's Huck back up to the top. Medley with the ball, back to Huck. 3-point attempt is good.
3-point basket, Lexi Huck.
5 of 20. That was the 20th shot attempt for Fort Frye. Now a big turnover.
That was a lazy pass, and Mackenzie Dalton on the steal and the points.
And Fort Frye turned up that pressure in that heat just a little bit further up court, and resulted in a quick bucket there and a 10-point lead here.
5 minutes and 24 seconds to go in the first half. Fort Frye Lady Cadets leading the Lady Muskies 14-4. And I guess we'd like to take this opportunity to not only thank our sponsors, but thank Adam Green, who is the man to make it all the magic come to you tonight, and Chris Sparks, who is on the videographer. Was that official title, Sparky? It's videographer tonight. And we also have a lot of great sponsors that help us bring the game to you tonight for our free live stream. And those sponsors would be Southeastern Med, Doan Ford, WB Green Insurance, Muskingum Valley Health Center, West 40 Auto Sales, Edward Jones-Teresa Cowden, and Park National Bank. So thanks to all of our sponsors this evening for bringing the game to you. And for YRP-TV, again, this is our presentation of girls high school basketball. With you tonight is Tracy Lingefelder and Mike Snively. And Mike, I guess not really what we expected, but still a good game, although Fort Frye seemed to be trying to run away with it late in the or midway through the second period.
Yeah, you get a feeling Fort Frye starting to gain a lot of momentum here. This is where John Glenn needs to settle down, get the ball across half court, run a good offense. They need a basket in a bad way right now.
Yes, sir, they do. And Fort Frye maintaining that full court pressure right now. John Glenn so far not really having a hard time kind of navigating. And Kumler passes down, 3-point attempt. That was by Abby Shire. It was no good, but John Glenn maintains possession. Shire kicks the ball back out to Abrams. We find Shire back up to the top. She gets set up off to the left to Kumler. Back up top to Abrams.
This is kind of what John Glenn needs to do. Square up, look at the basket, look at your cutters.
And above all else, don't panic and don't make bad passes. Stop turning the ball over. And
they got a couple of good shots early when they were able to run the offense. But right now they're doing a good job on Kumler, denying her the basketball, and they're doing a good job on DiMatteo, who does get it here.
She does and puts up, missed the shot, and Fort Frye with the rebound. And that's Mackenzie Dalton, brings the ball back down the court for the Lady Cadets.
And you get a 10-point lead on you against Fort Frye, and it feels like it's a 15, 20-point lead just with the style they play.
Right. So a three-pointer.
And the foul.
Lexi Huck puts up a three and was fouled.
3-point goal, Lexi Huck, foul number 12.
They sort of remind you like playing Army in football. You know, Army gets a 10-point lead, and they get the ball and they take control of the clock, and that's kind of how this Fort Frye team is. This 13-point lead feels like it's insurmountable right now.
That's right. Huck, her free throw is good. That's 9 points on the night for the senior guard, Lexi Huck.
Huck, a big Fort Frye family last name down in Beverly area.
It's a very familiar name, huh?
Yes.
So John Glenn gets away with the pressure and almost unscathed, but not quite. Set up their offense, and they just kind of, like we said, they just really need to control themselves and not really panic. You don't want to start making some bad passes and bad decisions. Just take your time, play your game, and the scores will come. And there's another turnover, just as we mentioned that. Lexi Huck ends up with the ball.
Good
she tries to get
Kumler.
the ball. Yes, sir. She tries to get the ball over to Riley Medley, and it's knocked away by Kumler.
You'd almost like to see Kumler kind of like take control one possession or two possessions just to try to go one-on-one, just to try to get a basket for this struggling Muskie offense right now.
Yeah, no points on the night for her, and still only two Lady Muskies that have scored tonight. And that's Mackenzie Dalton, who drives and then kicks it back out, and Lexi Huck takes another three-point attempt. Is no good, and Lady Muskies with the rebound. And Kumar
DiMatteo with 5 rebounds tonight.
Lady Muskie. Oh, see, sometimes you just get a little bit of lazy pass. And down low, that's DiMatteo, and she was fouled on the shot.
Foul number 42, Carly Ross.
Foul called on Carly Ross, the 5'7" senior forward. And DiMatteo will go to the line,
shooting 2.
and she will shoot 2.
Free throws 4 and 5 here for the Lady Muskies on the night.
First shot up and good. DiMatteo is on the board for the Lady Muskies. 18-5, 3 minutes and 12 seconds left at John Glenn High School.
I don't think the scoreboard just put up the 5 there.
Second shot in and out, but rebound. Kumler puts up a layup and is no good. Ball fought for and whistle. So the Lady Muskies actually recovered, but then were called for the travel. And that would be DiMatteo as she just went to the ground and called for the travel. Fort Frye will bring the ball back up on offense. 3 minutes to go, 18-5. Fort Frye leading the Lady Muskies.
1-3-1 zone here. A little switch in the defense here by the Muskies. 1-3-1 is a good defense to use your length on. Not necessarily trapping, but just getting your hands up.
Archer with the ball, spots up for 3 for the Lady Cadets, and it's good.
But you know, one thing that can bring you out of that zone is a hot shooting team. Right now, Fort Frye starting to get its touch. And another turnover. Kumler stepped over the inbounds line there. And the referee caught it, so it'll go to Fort Frye out underneath the basket.
And again, you know, this is starting to get run away from the Lady Muskies, who can take a deep breath, and plenty of game left, even though 2.5 minutes to go in the first half. You don't want to let it get too far out of control, and there's another 3-point attempt for the Lady Cadets, and that was Archer. It was no good, and Lady Muskies control the ball, and a lazy pass there is intercepted by Mackenzie Dalton, who drives and misses layup, but she was fouled.
Yeah, we talked about turnovers at the beginning of the game, and that's the 8th turnover just in this quarter. We still have 2 minutes and 15 seconds to go in this quarter, so the turnovers are mounting up for the Lady Muskies, and the lead's getting bigger for the Lady Cadets.
And Dalton's first attempt was up and good. That's 6 points on the night for her.
Substitutions, number 11, Molly Thompson-Inman, and number 14, Abby Shire.
Shire and Thompson-Inman check back in for the Lady Muskies. Looks like Fort Frye will bring another as well. Second shot up. Rattles around, and it is good as well for the 7th point tonight for Dalton.
Fort Frye, 3 for 3 at the free throw line tonight.
23-5. Lady Cadets leading the Lady Muskies with 2 minutes and 13 seconds to go in the second period, and another foul on the floor.
Fort Frye has 5 team fouls in this half. John Glenn with 4 team fouls, so both teams have a little bit of ways to go before hitting that 1-on-1.
Looks like Carly Ross will check out, and she has her second foul called tonight. Abby Shire brings the ball up for the Lady Muskies. Passes off. Is still a really tight defense that these Lady Muskies are facing from the Lady Cadets.
They're forcing them 25 feet out, maybe 30 feet sometimes.
And you notice if they don't make a good strong pass, they're getting taken away.
Yes.
Sometimes when
the ball's close to Fort Frye, they're going after it, and most of the time it seems like they come up with it.
Lady Muskies take their eyes off what's going on, look around to see who they can find open for a pass, and about that time, ball's just getting swiped.
Yeah, and another thing about Fort Frye, anybody can guard anybody. It doesn't have to be a guard guarding a guard. Their guards can guard the big people too.
And it's Archer with a 3-point attempt is no good, but knocked back by Dalton, and Lady Muskies will control. Head up, it's Thompson-Inman. Ball, and another jump ball called on the floor, and this one's going to go back to Fort Frye.
Yeah, 10th turnover, 15th in the game for the Lady Muskies. And a lot of it has to do with the stifling defense by the Lady Cadets.
It definitely is that. You know, we talked to the Lady Muskies did a great job in the first quarter, kind of forcing their own game on the Lady Cadets, and now the tables have turned as the Lady Cadets, and now there's a errant pass by Huck. She kind of turned around.
Yeah. Now, conversely speaking, that's Fort Frye's second turnover on the night. So they've been taking care of the ball really well so far tonight.
Both coaches touched on ball control. It's just Fort Frye Lady Cadets just executing a little bit better than the Lady Muskies right now. Another bad pass, I guess, knocked away. It's just a really good defense, but Lady Muskies can keep the ball.
DiMatteo really fighting hard down there for position.
And the three-point attempt is short. That was Olivia Abrams, just a little bit short. Fort Frye with the rebound. We are we're at 30 seconds to go in the first half. 23-5, Lady Cadets lead the Lady Muskies.
John Glenn without a basket in this second quarter. They do have one made free throw.
I just wonder if Fort Frye will just hold for one shot. Seems like they'll be content to not do so. And that's Archer with a three-pointer.
Three-point basket, Hannah Archer.
And
another turnover.
8 seconds to go, 26-5.
Great hustle there by number 12, Julia Zalmanek, who was able to tip the ball off of the Muskie player's knee. Now they will get the last shot, Tracy.
Yes, sir. Inbound the ball will Fort Frye. Kenzie Dalton.
And as soon as I speak, Fort Frye dribbles off of their knee. Well, no, they did not. They're going to give the ball to Fort Frye.
Went out on John Glenn. And Dalton will inbound for the Lady Cadets. And finds a cutting Huck, but overthrown. She still gets the ball. It's blocked, her three-point attempt. That was blocked by Rachel Minor and out of bounds. And with 0.3 seconds to go, Fort Frye will make one more inbound, but it's going to have to be a catch and release real fast.
Anything you can do here is tip it in, so you can't really catch and release.
And, well, so Huck tried to get a shot off, and it was blocked, definitively blocked by Lady Muskies. And we have reached the end of the second quarter, first half, basically all belonging to the Lady Cadets. They lead John Glenn Lady Muskies 26-5.
Kind of what we thought. Fort Frye defensively was going to be really good. Fort Frye struggled out of the gate offensively due to the fact that John Glenn was playing some very good man-to-man defense, using their length. I think John Glenn may have got a little run down and tired a little bit, and Fort Frye started to get a little bit more space on their offense due to possibly wearing down that Muskie defense, and they started getting some openings on these shots, and that's where we stand. And John Glenn, no baskets in that second quarter. In fact, they've only shot the ball 8 times in the entire game. So they've got 8 shots up in 16 minutes, but they have 16 turnovers for the night. 16
turnovers when Coach Sigmund specifically touched on the fact that that's been an Achilles heel for them all season so far in this young season. So not something that I'm sure he's going to really talk about proudly at halftime, but something that definitely will need to be addressed and going into the second half, something that the Lady Muskies are going to have to come up with some type of fix.
Yeah, and what do you do there? You knew you were in a dogfight. You did a really good job taking care of the basketball, getting some shots early, and defending well. But like I said, I think they ran out of gas there at the beginning of the second quarter, and Fort Frye began to sub. And like I said earlier, Fort Frye players can guard anybody. A guard can guard a center, and a center can guard a guard, and they're interchangeable. We knew they were very good offensively, but I didn't know that they were this good defensively, and it's showing right now.
And it's exactly what Coach liked. He's, on the opposite side, he's in the dressing room right now saying, yeah, we got off to a slow start, but we maintained our game plan, and, he basically said the way that they were going to counter a height disadvantage against the Lady Muskies was to run. And like you said, the first quarter, the Muskies were kind of really imposing themselves on the Lady Cadets, but it just all the constant moving and a really talented Lady Cadets team just made fewer errors. It's committed fewer turnovers. It was otherwise a pretty cleanly played game as far as fouls committed. But the Lady Cadets basically showed that they had a different level of experience than what the Lady Muskies have.
Yeah, and the key stat, too, they outscored the Lady Muskies 19-1 in that second quarter. So, you know, good teams go on good runs, and that was a big run there from Fort Frye. And I've made mention of this early. That's a 21-point lead against a very good defensive team. That's a lot to come back from right there.
Yes, it is. We are live on YRP TV's presentation of girls high school basketball at John Glenn and Fort Frye. We're going to step away for a quick break. We'll get some more numbers tabulated for you on our very unofficial statistics. And we'll be back with those and the second half right after this. And welcome back to John Glenn High School and YRP TV's presentation of girls high school basketball this evening, where the host Lady Muskies of John Glenn are running into a brick wall and in the form of the Lady Cadets from Fort Frye. And I'm Tracy Lingefelder, and this is Mike Snively right here, who you can see masked up and COVID-free, hopefully, Snive.
Let's hope so. Let's hope so. Yeah, we're doing the best we can here. We're pretty much close to as far as ways we can get and still be on camera. And but we've been wearing our mask religiously, so I'm sure everybody appreciates that, because we appreciate the people here that are doing the same thing for us.
And so what we've found in this first half of play is that it's basically a tale of two teams. One team comes out and they execute and they score. They get some good open shots, and they really take advantage of a lot of miscues from another team. So
correct.
That obviously being the case for the Lady Cadets, taking those miscues from the Lady Muskies.
Right, and I'll go over some quick statistics here, Tracy. That John Glenn only shot the ball 8 times in the first 16 minutes in that half. So they were 2 of 8. They shot 25%. Fort Frye got up 28 shots. They made 9 of them. They were 9 of 28 for 32%. John Glenn did out-rebound, and that's no surprise. They have the Cadets outsized. John Glenn had 16 rebounds for them offensive. Fort Frye, 9 rebounds, 2 of them offensive. Huge statistic here. John Glenn had 16 turnovers, 11 in the second quarter, while Fort Frye was on that 19-1 run. Fort Frye only 2 miscues, and Fort Frye was 3 of 3 from the line, and the Muskies were just 1 of 4 from the line. So there's where we are with a 26-5 score, with the Lady Cadets leading the Lady Muskies.
And a lot of the miscues, not all of them turned into points for the Lady Cadets, but the problem is they're still there and they're factoring into a lot of different scenarios for the Lady Muskies. And one, the Fort Frye Cadets love to run and gun anyway.
Yeah.
So they're getting these opportunities with all the turnovers, and a lot of the turnovers are coming from, just passes where it's good defense. It's not necessarily bad play on the Lady Muskies.
You hate the unforced turnovers where you just throw it to nobody.
Right.
This isn't the case. This is a case where the heat's been turned up in the kitchen, and Fort Frye continues to raise that thermometer in the oven, and that's exactly what's going on. And we knew earlier this was going to be a very stingy defense, and to only give up 8 shots, not makes, 8 shots total in the first half. That tells me how good the defense has been from Fort Frye.
And individual scoring, taking a look at those as we get ready to start the third quarter. Only 3 Muskies have scored tonight, and that was Rachel Minert and Abby Shire, both with 2 points on the books tonight. And Hannah DiMatteo has scored from the free throw line. Looking on the other side, there's several girls that have scored for the Lady Cadets. Lexi Huck with 9 points, and Olivia Schneider with 2. And Hannah Archer, she added 6. Mackenzie Dalton added 7 of her own, and then Carly Ross has 2 as well. And we are underway. John Glenn commits another turnover pretty quickly into the first 10 seconds of the third quarter. And that was Dalton missing the layup. And Fort Frye will retain possession. And already getting started in the third quarter, Mike. Another turnover from the Lady
quick
Muskies.
turnover. Lady Cadets off and running, then get an offensive rebound, get the ball out of bounds.
And there was a 2-pointer. It looked like a long 2-pointer attempt from Hannah Archer, is no good. Rebound, Fort Frye, and Archer with 2 again, but this time from 3, and this time it is good.
And you cannot give Fort Frye that many opportunities, and those are all just hustle rebounds.
So, and you would expect a taller John Glenn team to be able to out-rebound Fort Frye to the basket, but
when you're shooting threes and you get those long rebounds, your guard quickness comes into play sometimes more than the height.
Long shot, long rebound, right?
Yeah.
John Glenn with the ball, and DiMatteo has it knocked away from her, and another turnover. But you can just see the tenacity that the Fort Frye Lady Cadets defense has, and they've had all night.
Yeah, they've picked up the full court pressure from about the second quarter on. It's made a huge impact.
And they're definitely not letting up at all, even with a big lead this early in the game.
A lot of trapping going on from the blue and gold.
John Glenn able to drive and beat the pressure. Abby Shire drives, and her basket's good, and she's fouled.
John Glenn needed that basket by Shire desperately, and probably did what she needed to do, just put her head down and go and try to get to the basket, and did a nice job.
Tried her free throw up, and no good. And that is Archer with the rebound for the Lady Cadets. Lady Cadets getting their offense set up. And it's Huck at the top of the key, and she sends it off over to Archer. It's one thing I haven't seen a lot is where the Lady Cadets actually pick up their dribble.
No, they're more of a, and watch where their bodies are. They square up to the basket. They're always looking for a cutter, but they're always in that triple threat position.
And it's Archer for 3 at the top, and it is good.
Basket, Hannah Archer.
It's back-to-back threes on back-to-back possessions
Archer
for Fort Frye.
12th point tonight, 32-7 with 6 minutes, 25 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Lady Cadets leading the Lady Muskies, and they just turn it over again back to Fort Frye, who is driving, and the ball, DiMatteo knocks the ball away, and a whistle and a jump ball, which is going to, unfortunately for the Lady Muskies, favor Fort Frye.
Substitution number 14.
Yeah, it's going to stay Fort Frye basketball.
For the Muskies, number 15.
Several substitutions coming in.
Mackenzie Dalton will inbound for Fort Frye. And that's Huck with the ball, back down to Dalton.
Huck showed some quickness there.
Yeah. And then a little drive to the basket. Carly Ross with her layup is good.
Ross exploded to the hole there.
And that's her 4th point of the night. And a layup by Shire is no good. And I don't know, Mike, if you saw that, but
the box out.
Well, I was going to say that Fort Frye giving chase and trying to knock the ball away from behind.
Yeah, always chasing. A lot of things can be learned here by watching this Fort Frye team. They work hard. They all have fundamental skills offensively and defensively, and they play together well as a team. They find the open girl.
Just because you get around them doesn't mean that it's safe, right?
Right, that's true.
So there's a little 10-footer in and out, rebound Fort Frye, and missed the opportunity again, but they still have the ball, and that's Huck with a 3-point attempt, no good. Rebound, fought for, and jump ball called. That was a pretty quick jump ball, but that's going to favor Lady Muskies.
I tell you, Fort Frye getting it all. They have 5 offensive rebounds already in this third quarter. 6 total rebounds. Muskies without a rebound.
Sackeye, the ball's stolen again from the Lady Muskies. And Dalton scores for the Cadets. That's her 9th point on the evening. And another turnover. Nope. So almost intercepted pass. Looks like one of Roethlisberger's, right?
Well, let's hope not. I heard it's a tie game right now, but that's exactly what Fort Frye wants you to do. They want you to continue to move as fast as you can and throw a pass on the run. And get off your feet and make a pass, and they turn you over that way a lot of times.
Yeah, I was going to say, you kind of talk about like that, even in football, baiting a quarterback to make a pass, and you can see that they play off and then wait for you. A layup attempt by Marissa Sackeye is no good, and Fort Frye with the ball, and Archer with the layup, no good. Rebound Fort Frye again, and a tough back by Carly Ross. And the young lady has her 6 points. She's knocked down to the ground off on that rebound and putback.
John Glenn's been very impressive on the boards this half.
And that looked like an unforced error where Sackeye just loses dribble and the ball goes out of bounds. Turnover back to Fort Frye.
And Dalton got her hand in there and was able to knock it off of the John Glenn player. They do a very good job getting hands on the ball, too.
It's Huck with the ball. Off over to Ross. And wide open under the basket.
Wow.
That was a nice give and go right there.
Basket by Carly Ross.
Carly Ross with 2 more points for the Lady Cadets, and that's her 8th of the evening.
Unselfish play there by Riley Medley, who had a layup, had a decent shot, but gave it up for a better shot.
Turned her back to the basket and just gave it up. An air ball, that was a Musselman with her attempt there, was no good. And rebound to Fort Frye. And then Fort Frye commits a little bit of a turnover. Something you haven't seen a whole lot of this evening.
That is Fort Frye's 4th turnover on the night.
I'm sorry.
I was going to say the Muskies at 21 right now.
Certainly not where you want to be. More turnovers than you have points. 4 minutes to go in the third quarter, 40-7. Lady Cadets leading the Lady Muskies. And shot off the glass. That was Musselman again. Attempt no good. And rebound to Fort Frye. And this is Medley who brings the ball back up. Passes off to Huck. Archer driving the lane, and she's fouled on her layup attempt.
Archer's really been impressive here in this second half.
You really like Fort Frye being the smaller team, know that they're a small team, but they're still not afraid to drive the ball against the taller Lady Muskies team.
No, playing with a lot of confidence right now. And it's tough right now if you're John Glenn because, you know, you're playing against a very good team, and this team that you're playing is continuing to play hard.
Right.
You kind of find out a little bit about yourself. You know, you could sit there and take this whooping, or you're going to have to come back fighting. And you'd like to see the Lady Muskies come out here in a positive way.
Archer hits her second, misses the first, but hits the second one. That gives her 13 points on the night for the junior guard. And the Muskies had the ball with 3 minutes, 30 seconds left in the third quarter. It's a long three-point attempt. Was that Shire? Ball's no good. Long rebound to Fort Frye, and basket is good by Medley, and that's her first two of the evening for the Cadets. 43-7 with 3 minutes, 10 seconds to go in the third quarter.
11-1 rebounding advantage for the Lady Cadets in this quarter, 11-1.
So that's just icing on the cake for a smaller Cadets team, right?
Yeah, a lot of hustle rebounds in this quarter.
Everything really just going their way. They're out hustling and basically playing better fundamentally.
Just playing great defense out there right now. Now John Glenn is being a little more patient, being able to take care of the ball here. That's a positive. And that was a good look.
Nice little pass down there, yep.
Might want to use a bounce pass next time, but that comes with age and a little bit of practice.
A minor pass attempt to Marissa Sakai was knocked out of bounds, but the Muskies will maintain possession. Sakai inbounds and gets the ball back, drives baseline, tries to put up a shot, and she is fouled. So that's one way I guess you could do it, is just attack the basket and hope that you get the favorable call, right? So.
Well, I think that's been a pretty good offense for John Glenn. Has been just putting her head down and going. And with a purpose, though, with a purpose.
Marissa Sakai is a 5'4" sophomore. Her first attempt is up and rolls around, and it is good.
Substitution number 42, Carly Ross.
The Cadets are going to make some more substitutions and get a couple of the starters back in. Ross checks back in for the Lady Cadets. Sakai's second attempt is up. This one is no good. Archer with the rebound for the Lady Cadets, and here comes Fort Frye. Long outlet pass is tipped back in and put up. That was Carly Ross.
Medley with another good pass, though.
That was a really nice touch pass right back.
Yes.
45-8 with 2:15 left to go in the third. Lady Cadets leading Lady Muskies, and it's been all Fort Frye tonight, and looked like Shire was getting ready to cut toward the basket, and Lady Muskies turn the ball over again, throw the ball out of bounds.
Yeah, that's something that just comes with time and practice. The backdoor cut. Are you going to be cut and come out to the top of the key, or are you going to backdoor? And they were just had some wires crossed there and had to turn another turnover for the Muskies.
Archer drives and passes, find a nice little bounce pass to Zalmanek, and she puts in for two.
5 straight baskets for Fort Frye, and 8 of their last 11 from the field.
Muskies with the ball again in a big deficit. We're almost to the 90-second mark in the third quarter, 47-8. Fort Frye all over John Glenn. Nice little entry pass, and that pass is knocked away, and Archer with the ball for Fort Frye and drives, layup, good. 2 more for Hannah Archer, and that's 15 points on the night for Miss Archer, who is a 5'8" guard, junior guard for the Lady Cadets.
And now if you're John Glenn, you want to come out and play hard the rest of the way, try to get some, learn some things here.
And looked like a little reach-in foul on Riley Medley, who's really showing off her passing skills in this quarter anyway.
Yes, and Fort Frye's been fantastic on the boards this quarter. 1 rebound for the Muskies this quarter.
Shire inbounds ball. Thompson Inman, who gives back to Shire and dribbles left, and there's a long three-point just short, and that was Olivia Abrams. Ball goes out of bounds off of Fort Frye, and the Muskies will keep it. We are under 1 minute to go, 49-8. Lady Cadets leading the Lady Muskies. Live at John Glenn High School, you're watching YRP's TV's presentation of girls high school basketball, where it has been all Fort Frye pretty much all night. And another turnover committed by the Lady Muskies and another layup attempt for the Cadets, and this time no good. Archer misses. And rebound actually from Carly Ross, and then we have a foul on the floor against the Lady Muskies.
But once again, hustling down the court was Carly Ross. She didn't have to be hustling, but she did. Got that rebound. Now she's going to create herself an opportunity to score 2 points.
A rebound against 2 white jerseys of the Lady Muskies.
Yeah. Can you see why this team was in the state semifinals last year? I sure can.
And only having lost 1 to graduation, so you know the talent is there. Ross' first attempt is good. Second is nothing but net as well, and that is 12 points for Carly Ross, who is one of the 3 starting seniors for Fort Frye.
6 of 7 from the line for Fort Frye.
30 seconds to go in this third period. Muskies with the ball, and that is Abby Shire driving baseline, has the ball knocked away, and and Fort Frye has the ball, controls it, and they're off and running. Archer gives way. Shot up and in, or up and out, sorry. But that was Archer passed off to Ross.
Now we're starting to see a lot of unselfishness from Fort Frye. They're, like I said earlier, they're passing up good shots for better shots.
And Carly Ross is back at the line for Fort Frye. First shot up, rolls around, and it is good. 13 points on the night for Carly Ross, who will shoot her second. Shot up, and it is good. 15 seconds to go in the third period. Carly Ross hits both for Fort Frye, and they take an more sizable lead, 53-8 with 6 seconds to go. And another turnover from John Glenn. His ball is dribbled off of somebody's foot there. And it's a good, impressive defense, but Abby Shire commits the foul on the inbound.
Foul number 14, Abby Shire, her first.
Shire's first foul, 15 foul. Only 3 team fouls for the Lady Cadets. Huckin with the ball, passes off to Archer for 3 at the buzzer, no good, just short. Well, we've played 3, Mike, and it's been all Fort Frye. They lead the Lady Muskies 53-8 with 1 quarter to go.
10 of 18 Fort Frye in that quarter. 10 of 18. A lot of unselfish play by them. John Glenn, just 1 basket, 1 of 6 in that third quarter. But the 2 big stats here, let me guess, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 rebounds for Fort Frye. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them offensive. John Glenn 1 rebound in that third quarter. Out-rebounded them 13-1 in that quarter. And then you had 10 turnovers from John Glenn. That gives them 26 on the game. 3 turnovers for Fort Frye in that quarter, which gives them 5 for the game. And that was a huge, huge third quarter by a really good Fort Frye team, Tracy.
And on the other side, the Lady Cadets, they you talk about being unselfish with the ball. They have 4 of their starters in double figures tonight in scoring.
Yeah.
And then 2 additional bench players come off the bench and add to the point total for the Lady Cadets.
That was a 27-3 quarter for Fort Frye.
Very impressive. And here's Archer driving on the lane, and her layup attempt goes off the bottom of the backboard, and the Lady Muskies will control and settle back in on offense. And, if nothing else, obviously the game's out of control at this point, Mike, but just would like to see the Lady Muskies settle down and still get into a good fundamental fourth quarter.
Yeah, you definitely want to see them learn something, put some things together, put some confidence together, go down swinging, and I don't mean fist fighting or anything physical like that, but go down, try to get yourself some confidence here, learn some things. You got a lot of games ahead of you.
Exactly right. You just got to learn from your mistakes and not repeat the ones over and over again. It seems like that turnovers has been a real big issue for this John Glenn Lady Muskies team this year so far, something that they definitely need to work on. And as soon as we say that, there's another turnover from the Lady Muskies. And Ross with the ball has it temporarily knocked away, and Lady Cadets will control. And that's Huck with the ball back up to the top, over to Ross. To Archer for 3, and it's good.
3-point basket, Hannah Archer.
I believe Archer, 18 on the night.
18 points on a night for Archer, yes, sir. And that's Thompson Inman who loses the ball, goes out of bounds, and Fort Frye will control another turnover for the Muskies.
Number 30, Emma Dolan, and number 33.
Looks like John Glenn's going to go with some substitutions here. You just wonder what Fort Frye has on the bench. Well, they do have a couple substitutions in the game. A backdoor cut there,
Archer
really nice.
puts in 2 more.
Basket by Hannah Archer.
20 points for Archer tonight, and she's proven to be a pretty talented junior. And one name that I think we probably thought we might be calling a little bit more was Kumler for the Lady Muskies, and she's been really quiet. Credit to the Lady Cadets.
Yeah, we haven't seen her a whole lot since the first half.
Been out, right? Lady Muskies with the ball and working on good ball movement. And Thompson Inman across court over to Hannah DiMatteo. See, and I didn't think I was going to get it right.
You did well on that one.
And, over and back. Another turnover for the Lady Muskies as Olivia Abrams couldn't handle that pass. A little bit high, but
just went back court and going to be Fort Frye ball.
Dalton with the ball, and she passes in to Huck, who drives, misses the layup. Rebound Thompson Inman for the Lady Muskies, and she's getting up court. And still no letdown on that defense.
No, they're playing hard, and going for the ball.
Ball's picked, but foul called on Mackenzie Dalton for the Lady Cadets.
5 team fouls for both teams here with 5:34 left in this thing.
And that looks like the second foul on the night for Mackenzie Dalton. 5 minutes, 34 seconds left here at John Glenn. The Lady Cadets from Fort Frye lead the Lady Muskies 58-8. You're watching girls high school basketball on YRP TV. And Thompson Inman has the ball knocked away. Fort Frye knocked out of bounds, and the Lady Muskies will maintain possession.
You know, some losses cut deeper than other ones, and this one's going to cut deep because of the way it's been. And they faced a juggernaut here from Beverly.
They did, and I think both coaches were definitely aware of what the other team brought to the game. And like I said, it's a matter of you can put the best game plan in the world together, but you just have to execute on the floor as well. And there's just a lot of more familiarity with playing as a team on the Fort Frye side, having only lost one player from last year's state team.
And, you know, another thing too, if you're John Glenn, this is where you want to be. You want to take notes, and this is kind of where you want to be as a program.
That's right. John Glenn, definitely a young team, having only 2 seniors on this team, but a lot of talent. Maybe just a little bit overmatched this evening by Fort Frye.
And it takes a while to do what Dan Litke's done at Fort Frye. He just didn't build it overnight.
The longer this team stays together and plays together, the more they'll become familiar with one another and start to trust a little bit. And know what's going to happen. And that's a 3-point attempt by Olivia Abrams for the Lady Muskies, no good. And Thompson Inman with the rebound. She tries a little reverse layup. And we have a whistle and a foul against Fort Frye, which will send Molly Thompson Inman, a 5'5" senior, to the line. And she's looking for her first points of the night. A little left-hand shot from the free throw is up and off the side, no good.
A lot of subs coming in here for Fort Frye.
Number 12, Julia Zalmanek. Number 14, Riley Medley. Number 44, Chloe Ross. And number 5, Maddie Schneider.
A lot of some of the underclassmen coming in for the Lady Cadets.
Morgan.
And Thompson Inman's second shot.
Looks like
no
they
good.
called across the line.
Yep.
2 for 10 from the line right now for John Glenn.
And Fort Frye running. And that's one of the new subs, number 44, is Chloe Ross, and she gets on the board for the Lady Cadets.
The 5'8" junior forward.
Muskies with the ball, 4.5 minutes to go in the game. 60-8 Lady Cadets all over the Lady Muskies. And Lady Muskies just taking this as a learning experience and working on different opportunities going forward. Like,
yes, and that's about the best way to say it, Tracy. It was just a tough loss to a tough team, and you hope they learn something.
Thompson Inman's left-handed three-point shot, no good. Rebound to Fort Frye, who drives, and nice cross-court pass. And they kind of slow things down now.
And you see the unselfish ball handling and passing here by Fort Frye.
That's right, and we're seeing some of the JV players from earlier. In that JV game, Fort Frye won by 15 over John Glenn, 25-10. And some of these girls are getting an opportunity to play in this varsity game now that it's been pretty much out of control since probably the second quarter. John Glenn with the ball, and Thompson Inman, her pass at the feet of Abby Shire, and ball rolls out of bounds. Another turnover for the Muskies.
44, Chelsea Southern.
And that was an unforced turnover.
Sure.
That one right there was just something, you want to try to limit those first. Fort Frye forced most of these turnovers tonight.
Right. Medley brings the ball back up for the Lady Cadets. Crosses the line. 3 minutes and 20 seconds to go in the game. Medley with a drive and a step and misses the layup. Ball's knocked out and back to the Lady Muskies. It's a nice little drive. Just couldn't finish that.
2 big steps she took. Almost kind of reminded you of the Euro step you see now.
That's right.
Medley's been really good tonight, only a
She
sophomore.
has. That's something that speaks volumes for the coaching staff and the talent that they have in the area. We reached the 3-minute mark, under 3. Thompson Inman with a three-pointer, good.
3-point goal, Molly Thompson Inman.
And that's the senior's first bucket of the evening. 3 points for her, and Fort Frye is off and running. Nice ball movement, really good ball movement. And this number 44, Chloe Ross, the 5'8" junior, tries to put up just a pretty close little layup there, and she's fouled. She'll go to the line and shoot two.
We mentioned that the Fort Frye uniforms kind of remind you of the Harlem Globetrotters a little bit. Well, that passing display right there kind of reminded me of the Globetrotters.
That's right. And Ross hits her first free throw. That's her 3rd point on the night.
Fort Frye doing everything well tonight. 9 of 10 right now from the line, so 90% at the line.
And Medley will sit, and Gwen Rao comes in for the Lady Cadets. Second shot up for Ross is in.
Fort Frye substitution. Number 23, Kiana O'Brien.
2:44 left. It looks like Fort Frye is going to be content, and they're going to put in a lot of their subs for the evening.
And you just wonder, the way Fort Frye wins games sometimes, how many minutes do their starters get to play? Because they get up so many points, and you don't want to embarrass the team, so you have to sub. And he did play his girls probably a good little over 3 quarters tonight, his main core.
Yeah, I was going to say earlier, I was kind of surprised how long they stayed in. And Chelsea Sullivan scores for the Lady Muskies.
Fort Frye going to give it right back to the Lady Muskies, who have not quit, playing hard on the defensive end in the full court press.
And Sutherland is a 5'10" freshman, Mike, who just scored for the Lady Muskies. So again, we talk about there's a lot of experience on one side, and Lady Muskies is a young team, but a lot of talent at the younger level, at the underclassmen level.
Yeah, and it's not going to happen overnight like we talked about. It's going to have to take a lot of work over the summer and as soon as the basketball season's over, but it can happen.
Southern tried to put up a shot, it was no good, and Fort Frye will inbound. And Lady Muskies putting a little bit of pressure on. Nice little hand poke in there, try to knock the ball away from Bella Eubanks for the Lady Muskies. Fort Frye just doing a good job at pretty much every facet of the game.
Yeah, they're good. They're fundamentally sound. You look up the term fundamentally sound in the dictionary, and there's Fort Frye girls basketball.
And it seems like pretty much the whole team has a lot of the speed.
Yeah.
It's not just a couple girls that you watch that are fast. And
they do a lot of things well, that's for sure.
Maddie Schneider, who was on the JV, she's a 5'4" sophomore, just scores. And a long three-point attempt. No good. That was Highland Barr, 5'9" junior for the Lady Muskies.
You know, just another example of how good Fort Frye's defense has been. John Glenn's only got up 20 shots tonight. And we're 31 minutes into it.
We are under 90 seconds left to go in the game. 64-13, Lady Cadets lead the Lady Muskies. Fort Frye with the ball. And Schneider, who just scored, brings the ball down, and the offense gets set up for the Lady Cadets. Still really impressed, even at the JV level, playing against some varsity players, a really good ball movement.
Yeah, very good ball movement. They usually reverse the floor, so they force you to play defense, which also wears on you throughout the game, continually to go from side to side defensively.
They're doing really well finding an open player for a decent look at a basket. And there's a nice little inlet pass to Chelsea Thutterton, but she can't hit the turnaround. Fort Frye with the rebound, and they're off and running again.
And their spacing's very good, too.
Under 50 seconds to go in the game. 3-point shot. That's a air ball. Kiana O'Brien. No good. We have a jump ball on the floor. And Fort Frye will maintain possession. 42.6 seconds to the left in this one. In a game that has been all Fort Frye, and something that started as what we look like might be a closer matchup than what we originally expected, turned out to be kind of the way we were talking at the beginning.
Yeah,
of the
John
pregame.
Glenn that first quarter really did a good job hanging in there. And then things just started heading south. And sometimes that snowball effect hits you in basketball.
Had another tie-up, a jump ball, and John Glenn will come away with the ball with 30 seconds to go. Muskies are nice long three-pointer. That one is a Emma Dolan. No good, but rebound to the Lady Muskies, and Kylan Barr with a putback attempt is no good, gets a rebound. And Dolan with another three-point attempt is short. And looks like Fort Frye will get the rebound. We are under 5 seconds to go, and Fort Frye running. And they're going to get the layup off. No good. And the last shot, that was Chloe Ross again with the last shot from the Lady Cadets, and it was no good off the bottom of the rim. But we have reached the conclusion of this one. And Mike, it was all Fort Frye from the second quarter on. It was a decent first quarter and well-played first quarter for both teams, really. And like we mentioned earlier, the Lady Muskies come out, and their game plan, they really had an effect, and they executed fairly well. A very low-scoring first quarter, and then wow, did the Lady Cadets just come in and really turn it on after going into the second quarter.
Yeah, and Fort Frye was everything we thought they were, maybe better. You know, the one thing I was impressed with them about was how unselfish they are. Their spacing is fantastic. They make you play defense. And once they started, their shots started going down for them, the confidence started coming, and then they started running a lot more. And John Glenn just struggled. They it's just call it what it is. They just had a big struggle bus tonight, and you know that happens. But you know, there's a billion people in China don't even know this game was played tonight, and if they knew, they wouldn't care anyway. That's just kind of how my dad would put it after a bad loss. And it is what it is. John Glenn's got to pick up the pieces and come back tomorrow, practice hard. And Fort Frye, I would not be surprised to see them make another deep run. In fact, I expect them to make a deep run in the Division III girls tournament this year in Ohio.
Absolutely, yeah. This is certainly not a game that you can dwell on and worry about. Now that it's been played, it's over. You go in, check out the film, see what you need to work on it, execute better next time, and you learn from your mistakes. And
yeah.
Of course, again, we go back to our conversations with both of the coaches and Coach Sigmund. He readily admits, you know, turnovers is a big factor with having 65 turnovers in 2 games and then add a whole bunch more tonight. they did kind of keep Fort Frye in check for the first quarter and switching up defense. They were successful in doing that. And I don't know that they were actually able to take advantage of their size difference.
Right.
It seemed like for a little while, yeah, they were out rebounding Fort Frye, but then Fort Frye, with their aggressiveness on defense, they just wanted to fight for the ball, and they were in a good position, which is just your basic fundamentals.
Yeah, and there was just a difference tonight, and Dan Litke from Fort Frye has been doing this for many, many, many years, and he's been good at the boys level. He's been good at the girls level, and he's got a reputation as being a fundamentalist, and we saw that tonight. And he's established himself a program down there that a lot of people in this district, in this region, are trying to get to. And we saw one of the best, if not the best, basketball coaches in the area with his program in tip-top shape tonight. And and you got to give kudos to John Glenn for scheduling this game.
Sure.
And it's just going to, you hope it makes you better. You hope you don't take this too negatively, this score of the game. But if you got to look at it at the positives and say, hey, Coach Sigmund's got to go in that locker room and say, girls, this is where we want to be. How do we get there? And,
That's right.
And it begins conversations.
And understand that this is going to be hopefully a long season.
Yes.
And not every team you face is going to be the caliber of a Fort Frye Lady Cadets team.
Right.
So,
right. Exactly.
And it's a game. That's why we play the games. That's you hope to learn from them. And there's a lot for the Lady Muskies to work on. That again, they're a young team. They're going to have a lot of girls back. They're only going to lose two to. Three to graduation. I'm sorry, two seniors on the Lady Muskies. I'll get it. I'll spit it out eventually.
That's okay. You're doing great. But John Glenn's 2-2. They've won 2. They've lost 2.
They do fall to 2-2.
It's just how it looks. They're 500.
That's right. And in a team that probably on paper and expectations were that they would lose 2, albeit it's probably not in the fashion that Coach Sigmund would be happy with.
No,
on this.
no. But
so
that's a good team. And I don't think we can. I didn't realize they were going to be that good, but they were as solid as a girls' team as I've ever seen.
And we talk about the unselfishness of the Lady Cadets, and talk about all the different players. They had nine girls score for the Lady Cadets tonight, and taking a look at individual scoring. The Lady Cadets were led in scoring by number 22, Hannah Archer, who finishes the game with 20 points tonight, Mike. Mm-hmm. Next to her was number 42, Carly Ross, who had 14 points tonight. And then we had 2 of the Lady Cadets with 9 each, and that was Lexi Huck and number 24, Mackenzie Dalton. And then off the bench, well, not off the bench, I guess one of the starters, Olivia Schneider, she added 2. And then off the bench, you have number 44, who comes in late to the game, Chloe Ross, who added 4 points. And then 3 players with 2 points each. And those were some of the subs. Riley Medley, who we were impressed with her passing. She added 2 points, as did Julia Zalmanek. And then number 5 at the end, Maddie Schneider, sophomore. And that rounded out the scoring for the Lady Cadets. And for the Muskies, still six people scoring, but just not the points. They just weren't there. They were led in scoring by Abby Shire with 4, and Molly Thompson-Inman with a 3-pointer is second in scoring this evening for the Lady Muskies. And then you had Rachel Meinert and number 44, Chelsea Sutherland, both adding 2. And then Hannah DiMatteo and number 15, Marissa Sakai, both with 1 for the Lady Muskies, who, as you mentioned, fall to 2-2 on the year to undefeated 3-0 Lady Fort Frye Cadets.
I can give you some quick stats here. John Glenn was 5 of 24 from the field, just got up 24 shots on the night, just a little hair over 20% from the field. Fort Frye, 50%, 23 of 46 from the field. Fort Frye out-rebounded John Glenn, 33-17. John Glenn had 30 turnovers. Fort Frye had 9. John Glenn was 2 of 10 from the free throw stripe, and Fort Frye was 10 of 11. So Fort Frye dominating those statistical categories as well. And just a dominant performance by a very good team, the Fort Frye Cadets.
It certainly was. And but they'll play again. Again, the Lady Muskies fall to 2-2 on the year. And the Lady Cadets improve to 3-0 on the year. And that is going to conclude our presentation of girls high school basketball for YRP TV. We do want to thank all of our sponsors again. I'd like to thank Adam Green and Chris Sparks for helping us out behind all the scenes. And thanks to you, Mr. Mike Sniley, for keeping me honest.
Hey, Tracy, it's fun doing it. I'm looking forward to doing some more with you. And I want to thank Athletic Director Michael Dunlap, too. He's always a big help when we come over here to John Glenn High School. So,
absolutely.
Thanks for doing it with me, Tracy. I had a good time.
I did as well. And thank you for watching YRP TV's presentation of girls high school basketball. For Adam, for Chris, for Mike, I'm Tracy Lingefelder, where once again the Lady Cadets come into John Glenn and beat the Lady Muskies 64-13. We appreciate you watching, and we hope you all have a good evening. Good night.
High school basketball. Tonight's game is brought to you by Southeastern Med, Doan Ford, WB Green Insurance, Muskingum Valley Health Centers, West 40 Auto Sales, Edward Jones-Teresa Cowden, and Park National Bank. This has been a presentation of ABC Communications.